An hour, Money Moves, the Brewer Group, helping athletes navigate life after the game. Joining us right now, a couple of former NFL stars, former investment banker and CEO of the Brewer Group, Jack Brewer, along with former NFL running back Clinton Portis and former NFL wide receiver Ron Johnson. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
What are you doing?
We are going after
what are you doing? Tell us.
We are going after. We have a program. We just partnered with Fordham University. We have 22 athletes pursuing their undergrads and MBAs. Very exciting time for us. You hear so many horror stories about athletes doing it wrong off the field. Well, I got 22 guys that are doing it right. So just really excited about it.
Do you guys think about this? I mean, tell me how important stuff like this is for you, Clinton. When you're focused on the game, obviously in your real life, but then you got to, after the game, think about how you're going to save it and how you're going to, hold on to all that money.
Well, in the game, you don't focus on this. I think you need guys like Jack around you that force you to do things like this. When you see a guy like Jack who's so successful, determined, constantly going out to get more, to do more in communities, all of a sudden you get that energy. Why am I not doing this? Because the way Jack uses his day, you could see Jack at 1 a.m. and he's smoking a cigar, and all of a sudden at 5 he's on his way to this show. So you begin to figure out how to use your day wisely, and having this opportunity is great.
I guess, I mean, why is it that athletes who are so successful, make a lot of money, oftentimes you see that they lose it all? Ron, why?
I don't think it's just losing it all. I mean, I played with Jack in college. I also went to the Baltimore Ravens, so CP and I were in the same draft class in 2002. We did the same trips out to L.A. together. And then I was one of those guys that I had a high ceiling and then got hurt. So I only played 3.5 years. And so it's not just about saving. It's about, if you don't have the opportunity to save a whole bunch, what do you do next? And I think a lot of guys struggle mentally. They struggle with identity of who they're going to be after the league. And guys like Jack, I mean, what we're doing right now at Fordham University, as a kid, African-American kid from Detroit, Michigan, this is something I never thought I'd do. You know, I heard about it. I heard people talk about it. But I'm like, I'm going to play football. My dad won 2 Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 78 and 79. And so that was always my goal, is I want to play football. I want to win Super Bowls, and that's it. Well, my father passed. Those Super Bowl rings are now mine. So they do nothing after that. It's just a ring. It's something that sits on my dresser. It doesn't do anything. But what it can do now is put me in the rooms with people who are like, oh, I didn't know you did that. Oh, I didn't know that you wanted to speak about this. I also worked for the Vikings on Fox 9 in Minnesota.
Woo-hoo!
So
Although I'm a Redskins fan, so
it's okay. I do that.
I'm in Clinton's corner.
I do that weekly with them. So I get to see, guys come into the league, guys like Adam Thielen, who was undrafted now, $64 million contract. And so I hope as we grow this, guys like that, not just because they have the money, will realize how to move the money.
Yeah.
I think that's what we don't understand is it's not just about having the money, it's moving it. Where do you put it? How do you grow it?
Sure.
Well,
sure.
The narrative that interferes with that, you say, how do guys lose this money? No, you're taking advantage of. I think more people should be open to the conversation of why do these people keep taking advantage of? All of a sudden, you find a guy like Jack, and you begin to learn this terminology. I think Fordham has given us the opportunity to know the terminology, to know the business talk, because we're not up on that coming from inner city communities, coming from our neighborhoods. We're taught to go and trust someone who has on a suit and tie. I don't have on a suit and tie for a reason. I'm okay. I'm comfortable in this attire. Every time someone comes to you with suit and tie, you think it's authority. You think he's smarter than you. He's not smarter than me.
You're right.
So
why are they taking advantage of people?
There are a lot of crooks. There are a lot of crooks in the world, and that's part of basically part of the con. And they're still out there, despite all of your best efforts. They're still out there, but it's also because. Do people who play, particularly professional football, because the careers are very often short, are they getting paid enough for the risk that they're putting their lives?
I think it goes back to how you're getting paid as well, right? You look at a professional athlete, and no matter who you are, if you're 22 or 23 years old and you're working and you get paid over a 4-month period, it's going to be very difficult for you to manage your money. And so there's other things and other factors that go into that. If you get a lump sum of money, you have a family. Like myself, I had 2 children while I was in college. So when I went to the National Football League, I had to feed 2 kids. I had, parents I wanted to help out. And so you have all these other factors that go in, and when you look at at it, you're really not making as much money as you think you are. You know, the average NFL salary, you know, right now is just a little bit over $1 million. Well, what the guy at the bottom is making $300,000-400,000.
That's what I meant, though.
In New York, you're bringing home $200,000 a year. You know it's tough to live off $200,000 a year in New York City when you're paying $4,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. So we got to keep it real. And I think what our goal with this program is to do is to arm these professional athletes, including myself, with the knowledge base to be able to make better decisions. If you look across the board, you're not going to find very many professional athletes with their MBA that are making bad, poor financial decisions because they put the time in. And so I advocate for guys to continue to get their education. But beyond that, I want to thank the National Football League for even giving us this scholarship reimbursement opportunity that's really helping so many players out.
Well, it is showing that they care about the players and what happens next. I'm saying after the game.